Today on Real Talk with Gile Group, we're talking about baby boomers and SRES. What's an SRES and are baby boomers taking over? Hey everybody, welcome to Real Talk with Gile Group. Today we're talking about senior real estate specialists, which is what an SRES is, and baby boomers and what's happening in the real estate market.
So I read an interesting headline this morning. It was actually about the baby boomers now being the largest demographic buying and selling homes again, which obviously wasn't a surprise, 20 years ago, but the last 5 years or so it's been millennials. Well, the baby boomers now, as they're starting to transition from where they're at before, are now kind of overtaking this market again.
Yeah, where they're at before. That's kind of the crux of what we're talking about today. We've mentioned that we live multi-generational. That is certainly an option for someone who is a senior, right, so to speak, and I'm creeping up on that senior number. But we are seeing people so in Oregon, there's 12% of the population is 65 or over. Wow. In the state of Oregon. Yeah. So we know lots of these people. Personally, we know these people. We're all very active. We are doing things. We're traveling. We're exercising. We're not the 65 that our parents, well, not our parents, but grandparents right. Exactly. Yeah. Were. Things have changed a bit, so they're more active. So it's not happening until about 75-ish, typically, depending on health, that people are transitioning out of their homes, or we're transitioning parents out of their homes if there's health issues and things like that. And that's kind of the thing we're talking about today.
So what are these people doing, or what are they looking for? I mean, what are we seeing in the market?
As far as our clients, so 65 and older, people who have homes that are 2,800 square feet, 3,000 square feet, their kids are grown, they're out of the house, they're starting to have grandchildren, things like that. Those people are looking to downsize from a 2-level home typically to a 1-level home where they can age in place for a very long time because they're active and they plan on being healthy for a very long time. So they're looking to just kind of age in place. Or have a bedroom, not even necessarily a master on the main, but a bedroom, full bedroom, bath on the main level if for some reason in the future, as they're aging in their home that they're hoping to be in for 20 years, right? That next move, they're wanting that 1 level or a bedroom if needed and a full bath on the main so that they don't have to go again and they can age in place. Yeah. So, and we can certainly help people aging in place, even if they're starting to have health issues, some balance issues, things like that. We have people that we can refer to help consult with these people, to put grab bars in and really help to adapt a house for them to age in place as long as possible. So that's kind of the first step of moving out and needing some more assistance. But the people that were 65-ish, we're looking to just move to that next home, that 1 level, the one that's going to take them and let them age in place as long as possible.
And then there's a whole another piece of this too. It's the people that are 65, 70 or so whose parents are now have kind of aged in place, but now need to go to assisted living or something like that. Yeah. That's kind of the other end of the spectrum of SRES and working with seniors.
Right. So SRES again is a senior real estate specialist. I do have the designation of an SRES and have the privilege to help many people transition, either themselves, their family members, parents, aunts, uncles. It doesn't necessarily have to be an aging parent. We're all responsible for our family, and so it's not just parents. But I've been able to do that. I have amassed resources that we can refer to people to help clear out a home, pack up a home, estate sales, disperse the things to family members, those things that are important and that we want to be able to hand down. We do all of those types of things. In that process, there's all kinds of steps, and so it can be an overwhelming time. It's a hard conversation to have if you're having it with your parents who are having some health issues and you're either having to move them or they've recently passed and they've aged out in their home and they passed, and now we need to take care of those pieces. So there's lots of things involved. The first and foremost, if you're working with real estate and parents, I would say is to talk to your parents about having a trust. having their property, their home. There's a lot of misconceptions about a trust, and the number one, I think, misconception about a trust is that you have to have a certain amount of money in order to have your estate trust eligible. You need to talk to an attorney. That's it. That's the number one thing. No matter what dollar amount you have a conversation with an attorney. It's worth a consult fee to find out if it matters to have your property put into a trust. And I believe that most people, an attorney is going to suggest a trust for most people.
So what are some of the challenges that you've seen in working in this segment? So also kind of interesting, if we look at where our business has been, especially this year. Probably a quarter to a third of our business so far this year has been SRES related.
Keep in mind, we're only in the first quarter of this year, just ended the first quarter of this year. The biggest challenges are if trusts are one. Making sure that we understand the trust. If the property is in a trust, we need to have a copy of the full trust, and that needs to go to the escrow company. So escrow can review it and make sure that you have the legal right to sell the property. The other thing is a power of attorney. A power of attorney is really important to have. When you're dealing with real estate, we also would need a power of attorney. A power of attorney is only good if I have power of attorney for you while someone is living. So if they've passed, the power of attorney goes away. That's a whole nother thing. Again, talk to an attorney about this, and we have referrals for attorneys, so we can help with that. So if they're still living and you have a power of attorney, that power of attorney needs to be notarized and recorded. That is the best way to go with that. And then that will need to go to the escrow company so that they can review it, make it sure it looks good. If this is a new process and you don't have that power of attorney, but parents are kind of ready to give you the power of attorney, you can go to an attorney. We can also talk to the escrow company. Escrow companies can write up a power of attorney. Schedule the notary, get it notarized. So there's lots of options to work with. It's not just you have to go to a lawyer for a power of attorney. You can have escrow draw up a power of attorney. Again, that's something that we can help you with.
Okay, good. So let's kind of back up a little bit. So there's a lot of ins and outs and nuances to this segment of the market.
Yeah.
As a consumer, as a person, why would I want to work with an SRES, an agent SRES?
Because we have the experience and the training to help you walk through the process and to direct you to people that can help you, as in we've amassed, as I had said, a list of people that I can refer, an attorney, someone who can come in and help you age in place and help your parents or yourselves decide what you need to change in your home to help you adapt and live there longer. Attorney, the escrow companies, it's similar to also even just working with the seller, right? Understanding what those steps are. And that's why an SRES is important, because again, we have an education in it, we've done it, and we have the resources to be able to help you. And the way I work, it's an overwhelming time. We've gone through it. You and I have been through this personally and had to do this. And it's a lot coming at you, and it's an emotional time. It's a scary time. You just don't know where to go. And I think that the most important thing is to have someone be able to give you information and walk step by step with you. And you say what you need, and if we don't have it, we can try and research and get you someone that you do need. We're just kind of there every step of the way, and I like to give people a little snapshot of like, okay, here's 3 things that you need to, these are the first 3 things we need to do. Now go do them. And then come back and we'll go that next step.
Because you're right, we see it so many times, especially on the with the aging parent side of it, of people are overwhelmed, they're having to deal with things. Maybe the parents didn't have their estate in a line before they got to this situation, and it's added some challenges. Just family dynamics, they may be dealing with siblings and things like that too, and trying to figure out who is going to make the decisions
if it's not already determined.
Right.
And we've worked in many of those situations, and just having understanding and care and taking a deep breath and working through that. You said something and I wanted to say something and I can't remember what it was. It's just so important to understand. Understand all of the dynamics. sometimes we don't know what our aging parents' financial situation is. We recently had a client whose parents had the home on a reverse mortgage. So understanding how a reverse mortgage works, understanding what the current value of the property is. Also, they had deferred taxes. They deferred their taxes as a senior. And so those things cut into the not the value, but the
proceeds.
The proceeds, thank you, the net. The proceeds of what that couple was going to walk away with in order to help them continue on into their assisted living and have more cash for that. So it's all of those things that we don't know, and that those are things we can help you walk through.
Yeah. So it sounds like there's a lot of challenges. What are the rewards? I guess what are some good examples that you've had about?
Well, I think the rewards are one of the first people I ever did had decided on their own that this is what they wanted to do. Their family certainly supported it, but they wanted to be able to go and have some assistance. They were more independent than they were needing the assistance at the time that they made the move. But it was a relief because they were overwhelmed. They were elderly. They were in relatively good health, but couldn't keep up with the house the way that they used to. Yeah. So there were things everywhere. And just the thought of making that move was so overwhelming to them that they froze. And so I took it from the other perspective of, you want to be here, yes. What do you like about the place that you've determined that you are going? Well, I like being able to have someone cook for me. I like having someone else come in and clean my place. I like being able to just lock the door and go. Yeah. All of those things. So if you keep your eye on where you're going and say, I can help you get there, and these are the few steps we're going to do, that's the good thing. Especially when we're looking forward to what they get to do, what the new adventure is going to be, as opposed to looking back. And also downsizing in general. Just 60, when we downsized, we didn't downsize, we upsized, but we did downsize in our number of things that we had. Yeah. And you feel lighter. You want to be able to just say, does this really matter? Because for us, really what mattered was our family and being with our family. It wasn't the things, it was the family. And ultimately, I think that's kind of where we all come from we want to be with our family, we love our family, we want to help our family. And that's what it comes down to, is people are really just trying to get through life and help each other. And that's the crux of what this really is. And we help get through those steps.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So if you guys have more questions about what we talked about today, baby boomers, SRES, senior real estate specialist, considering a downsize, have an aging parent that you need assistance with, don't forget to follow us on our social media, and also you can give us a call or send us an email.